Celtic visit Kilmarnock for the first time since the controversial signing of Rugby Park management duo Tommy Burns and Billy Stark. Chick Young reports.
Killie and Celtic fans will attend something of an ideal home exhibition when the second new stand is opened tomorrow. But manager Alex Totten is intent on building a side which can perform home or away.
I don't think Kilmarnock's got anything to fear from any team, because this season I feel we've played exceptionally well. In fact, our last 3 games have scored 5 goals, so I feel we can go anywhere, whether at home or away, and win games. I think we've got the talent here to do that.
However, there is no denying the emotion hanging over the fixture. The first time Tommy Burns and Billy Stark have returned to Kilmarnock since walking out on the club.
And obviously people talk about a grudge match. They said that the last time we played Celtic 2 months ago at Hampden, their lads went there, were winning 1-0 with 3 minutes to go, then Celtic scored a late goal. I thought that day their lads played exceptionally well, and obviously looking for the same performance tomorrow. So as far as we're concerned, what we do is we concentrate in the game 100%. If you let your mind waver to stands or whatever, obviously you're in trouble then.
Kilmarnock will be missing, among others, Bobby Williamson, scorer of this goal against Celtic last season. But hope springs eternal that the dressing room rebirth can match the rebuilding of Rugby Park itself.
Obviously 1 or 2 problems injury-wise. We've got 4 experienced players injured. We've got Andy Milne and Bobby Williamson suspended, and a couple of young boys come in tomorrow, you know, but they've been doing very well in the reserves. They're due their chance now. I'm sure they'll do very well indeed.
The Kilmarnock-Celtic row isn't over yet, but at Rugby Park, all welcome.
It's entirely their choice as to whether they want to come and sit with us or whether they want to go and sit with the fans.
Here, Celtic go to Rugby Park tomorrow for the first time since hiring Kilmarnock management team Tommy Burns and Billy Stark. It promises to be an emotion-charged occasion, with feelings between the two clubs still running high on the topic of compensation. Celtic have said no to interviews this week and issued a brief statement saying, "We have promised confidentiality and we intend to deliver it." Kilmarnock chairman Bobby Fleeting had more to say, and Chick Young reports.
Kilmarnock are desperate for peace in their compensation battle with Celtic for Burns and Stark, but chairman Bobby Fleeting is refusing point blank to compromise with Fergus McCann.
We've asked for what we thought was fair, and not just fair to Kilmarnock, but fair to Celtic as well. And I think if we start asking for something that's unfair, I think we'll lose a lot of the support that we've had up till now. But I don't think anyone in football, I mean, if you ask 100 journalists, 100 people in football to write down the figures that they would expect, they probably what we're asking for anyway. You know, it wouldn't be far away from what we're looking for. We're looking for a fair amount of money, but I'm hoping this doesn't spill it into Saturday, because obviously we've got a new stand opens on Saturday. We've got a new magnificent electronic scoreboard, full colour, just arrived from South Dakota, that we've just put into there yesterday. We're unveiling these things on Saturday, and it's meant to be for Kilmarnock fans a sort of gala day, because the next stage of the stadium is unveiled. This is a pity. I don't expect it to be mad. I expect Kilmarnock fans, and indeed Celtic fans, to act with the dignity they've always acted with.
The Killie board boycotted the Celtic boardroom when the clubs last met, but the Parkhead directors will be made welcome at Rugby Park tomorrow.
Protocol in Scottish football is that we send in tickets for the boardroom and for the directors' box, and we'll continue with the protocol of Scottish football, and that's exactly what we'll do. And it's entirely their choice as to whether they want to come and sit with us or whether they want to go and sit with the fans. I don't think that will be the case. I mean, I fully expect the Celtic directors to arrive at Rugby Park as normal. The majority of Celtic fans want to see this out of the way as well. I mean, 99.9% of them. I get more phone calls from Celtic fans than I get from Kilmarnock fans. So they want to see it out of the way as well. And I'm sure if this thing is out of the way, it'll make life easier, certainly. But I'm also fairly certain that Saturday comes, we're expecting, as I say, hoping it's a nice gala day for us with another one of our new stands opening up, a new electronic scoreboard being unveiled. So we're hoping that it can go through in that atmosphere.
Team and extra time.
Extra Time in association with Sports Division and Umbro, the winning team.
Tommy Burns was a hero in these parts when he occupied the home dugout as manager of Kilmarnock. Today he's back at the new look Rugby Park for the first time as manager of Celtic. Yes, feelings will be running high this afternoon in Ayrshire. Today, Andy Millen makes it clear he wants to quit Kilmarnock. And Pat McGinley promises Hibs fans he'll deliver the goods. All right, today we're giving away a selection of Adidas goods for the answer to the following question. Who was the Kilmarnock manager before Tommy Burns? The number to ring is 0839 444 511, and we'll announce the winner towards the end of today's programme. Falkirk. One player who won't be in action for Kilmarnock today is Andy Millen. He's out through suspension, and if he had his way, he wouldn't be at Rugby Park any longer. Defender Andy Millen cost Kilmarnock just £75,000 from Hamilton. He excelled in his first season and proved to be a real bargain buy. He celebrated Killie's Premier Division survival with the then Tommy Burns Billy Stark management team. They left and Millen immediately regretted that. Alex Totten may be in charge now, but things are clearly not the same for the 29-year-old player.
I just felt that Tommy and Billy had such a good personality that I could get on with, and also the whole boys could get on with. And it was enjoyable going in every day and knowing that Tommy and Billy had things all worked out and we all knew what we were going into.
So there and then things changed for you when they went, Andy?
Yeah, definitely. I had a great rapport with Tommy and Billy, and obviously we've got a new manager now and things have changed slightly.
From your point of view, for the worse?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I've got to be honest. Tommy and Billy are obviously a big favourite. A new manager's come in and obviously things are different now.
Millen's defensive skills haven't gone unnoticed. It turns out Celtic, under new boss Burns, made a bid for him. And the fact that the player wasn't told this immediately has angered him.
I just heard from a friend 2 weeks from the fee was put in, and I was surprised obviously by not hearing from the club herself. So I went in the Monday morning and I spoke to the manager, and the manager said yes, there was a bid made, but he knocked it back along with the chairman, and obviously I was extremely disappointed.
You feel you should have been told as soon as the bid went in?
Yeah, I feel it's only fair that a player should be told how his future lies, how his future can go. And also, with a bid of £350,000, I think it's only fair that I felt it was a fair bid for Kilmarnock to accept.
Millen's contract runs out at the end of this season, and he's in no doubt that come the time he's off. And he's not hiding that from anyone.
I've actually spoke to the chairman and the manager about it, and I've made my feelings clear that I'll be looking for my future elsewhere from Kilmarnock. But as long as I'm at Kilmarnock, they'll always get my best, and hope the fans understand that. They'll get 110% off me as long as I'm pulling on the blue and white jersey for Kilmarnock.
Well, Killie Chairman Bob Fleeting's with me. He's not too happy, is he?
No, I'm saddened actually, because we try to operate here as if it's one big family, and Andy Millen's part of that family, and it's sad that he wants to leave us. The fact that he doesn't want to leave us, obviously, you know, talking about Alec Totten, talking about how good it was when Tommy Burns was here. It wasn't our choice that Tommy Burns and Billy Stark left.
Yeah, you wanted to hold on to them, didn't you?
Yeah, but in Alec Totten we've got a man who, first of all, has got a great eye for picking players, the recent acquisitions, and we've got a good atmosphere here as well. Alec Totten's slotted into it. My brother Jim was here, the same thing. Alec Totten slotted in very well. I'm very disappointed.
But what about what he's saying though, Bob? I mean, shouldn't you have told him right away when Celtic came in for Millen that, you know, a bid was in? Well,
we perhaps get about 2 offers a week for players, and you don't go and tell those players, because how serious these bids are. I think it was only 2 days after Tommy Burns spoke to Alec Totten that Celtic were saying they didn't have any money to spend on players. So we normally say, well, put it in writing before we treat it seriously, and we never received anything in writing anyway. So whether in fact any offer would have been substantiated, whether in fact at that particular moment in time Tommy Burns had money to spend on a player, we don't even know.
I understand what you're saying about the family atmosphere, and you've done well with that here, Bob, but I mean, he's an ambitious lad, Millen. Are you standing in the way of his ambition, maybe?
If someone doesn't want to be at Rugby Park, they shouldn't be here. But whether he comes or goes, it's Alec Totten that decides that. I mean, Alec Totten didn't come to me and say, shall I take this offer or shall I not take it? He came to me and he said, look, I've got a verbal offer, but it's not been substantiated in writing, but a verbal offer from Tommy Burns for $350,000. Now, I didn't say to him, take it. I said, Alec, what do you want to do? He says, I don't want to lose Andy Millen. He says, I'll make him captain, in fact. I don't want to lose him. And I said, well, that's the answer to it. It's as
so you're setting your stall out. You want to keep your good players.
Yeah, and as I say, Alec Totten, it's his decision. You know, we're not in some sort of financial crisis. We've got to sell players. Alec Totten, it's his decision. If he'd come and said, look, I can use that 350,000 better somewhere else, I'd have said, well, it's your decision. But he didn't. He came and he said, I want to keep him. And I said, well, Alec, you keep him then.
Okay. You want to beat Celtic today, don't you?
Very much so.
Bob Fleeting especially wants to beat Celtic today.
I think every Kilmarnock fan wants to beat Celtic today.
Yeah.
They want to beat Celtic every time they play them. But this is, you know, the first time here. Our new stadium's almost finished. I mean, and
it looks good too, Bob.
It's fabulous.
Well, listen, thanks for joining us. Okay.
That game at Rugby Park then, Kilmarnock against Celtic, from Gordon Dunwoody.
Yes, Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 0, no goals, 7 bookings, and that just about tells the story of this thoroughly bad-tempered encounter. Neither goalkeeper had a save to make in the opening 45 minutes, and while both managers were at great pains to play down the grudge that this one was, obviously they hadn't got that over to their players. The second half started sensationally. Tom Brown was tackled by Brian O'Neill on the edge of the box, and I reckon most of the people in Rugby Park thought it was outside the box, but referee Clark thought differently. Tom Black took the kick, Gordon Marshall produced a brilliant parry, and Mark Skilling following up hit the post with Marshall beaten. The second half was an improvement in the first half, principally because it couldn't have been any worse, but this game had 0-0 written over it from an early stage, and that was the way it worked out. The score again, Kilmarnock nothing, Celtic nothing.
Gordon, that finished goalless, but what about events off the field? Obviously a lot of political issues surrounding this one. Anything noticeable about the atmosphere surrounding it?
Yes, the atmosphere really, Dougie, was, well, disappointing to say the least. Tommy Burns came back here, he'd done a great job for this club, and I find it incredible that the attitude that some of the supporters had to him here today. There were banners up, Judas Burns, and you just had to look around the stadium they've now got here, apart from anything else, and the fact that they're now a Premier League team, and so much of that is due to Tommy Burns, and I just find the whole thing very distasteful.
Thanks very much indeed, Gordon. It finishes goalless though, Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 0.
Tommy Burns was given the treatment as he made his way to the visitors' dugout for the first time since leaving Kilmarnock for Celtic. And it was a big day for two of the youngsters Burns had brought to Rugby Park, defender Derek Anderson and goalkeeper Colin Meldrum, in for the injured Bobby Geddes. Anderson lined up alongside Neil Whitworth in the Killie defence, with Ray Montgomery injured and Andy Millen suspended, while Celtic had Phil O'Donnell back in the side after injury and opted for a front two of Willie Falconer and Andy Walker, with Simon Donnelly and Paul Byrne on the bench. The referee was Martin Clark from Edinburgh, summariser Alan McInally, commentator Jerry McNee.
So, two teams with lots to prove. Kick-off here at Rugby Park, and it's been a disappointing run by Killie, who have taken just 2 points from the last 9, a defeat and 2 draws, and in the last game against Falkirk they were 3 ahead, but it ended 3-3. Celtic have gone 7 games without a win. Not the best preparation for a cup final. So a vital afternoon in terms of the championship for both clubs. So Celtic forcing the early play and getting themselves a corner kick. And Tommy Burns, who got a rather warm reception when he emerged from the tunnel. So the corner kick taken, and that's behind for the goal kick. Brian O'Neill coming forward to lend his height to the attack. So Andy Walker topples to the ground, and Celtic have the free kick, and this is just about the range for John Collins. So Colin Meldrum organising his defence. He'll be 19 next Saturday. This is a big test for him today. Just his 3rd appearance of the season. So it's Collins with McStay. Played off to Grant. Played in by Boyd, but offside, and the free kick awarded.
Obviously something Celtic have tried to do in training, but I mean really John Collins has proved on a couple of very important occasions where he can score from those positions, and for the life of me I can't understand why he didn't have a pot of goal. Certainly with such a young goalkeeper in for Kilmarnock today, it would have been a test for him so early on in the game.
Faulkner, a little bit of barging there, but play continuing. It's Boyd who sends it through. This is McStay. It's Collins. Tosh McKinley. Looking for the head of Faulkner. Touch from him, but doesn't quite come off. Celtic have it again though through McStay. Trying to play a little 1-2 there with Walker, but Kilmarnock have it again through Black. This is McKee. Collins digs in for Celtic. Still Kilmarnock have it though. It's played now to Brown. Through the middle now, and the chance on here. The goalkeeper again committing himself. It's Henry. Blocked by Tosh McKinley. And Kilmarnock giving Celtic a hard time of it. Battling here for every ball. It's Boyd under pressure from Brown, but the referee stepping in and awarding the free kick. But excellent play, spirited play by Kilmarnock. That ball played through towards Henry. Got it away from Marshall. And it was Tosh McKinley who blocked it. It's cleared by McNally. Faulkner goes for it. Again, it's Neil Whitworth stepping in to Black. This is McKee. Little stumble by him, almost putting his team in trouble, but again, it's Whitworth, and one or two signs of nerves from Kilmarnock. Quite a few mistakes, and that's a free kick conceded by Black as Collins threatened to get away from him, but those were self-inflicted wounds there by Killie, who have been playing so well. 3 mistakes in quick succession, and ending with that free kick, which gives Celtic a chance to create some problems for Kilmarnock. McNally, meanwhile, moves forward into the area. This is O'Donnell, who's quickly closed down. Back it goes to Grant. That comes off McNally and goes behind for the goal kick. So Alec Totten wants a bit more effort. He certainly had plenty so far, but managers are never satisfied. Kilmarnock have the throw-in. To be taken by Tom Black. A little bit of slackness by Celtic, allowing Brown to pounce. And that was a good block by Tosh McKinley. Kilmarnock certainly looking the livelier side. The manager has them well wound up for this one, no doubt about that. It's McStay though, moving in for Celtic. Now it's Faulkner. Good close control by him. He takes a return from Collins, but overhits the pass. Well, again, Meldrum taking a bit of a chance there and showing a few nerves. Signed last year from winning Rangers. So McNally's header, touched by Faulkner. But, Andy Walker with a lot to do there. Kilmarnock players all around him. This is Black playing it through. It's Black again. That's O'Neill for Celtic. McKinley plays it across to McNally. There's O'Neill holding off the challenge of Ellie and Mitchell. And now it's McKinley. Looking for Faulkner. Touchdown to Collins. Play on, says the referee. And it's O'Donnell trying the shot, and the ball deflecting. And the outcome is a goal kick. Brown getting a touch for Kilmarnock. Picked up now by Henry. This is Gus MacPherson pushing well forward, taking the return from Brown, but wide of target with the effort. Gus MacPherson, the fullback, pushing forward. This is his 14th appearance of the season this afternoon. The man who began his career with Rangers back in '86 and moved here in February 1990.
Certainly something Gus MacPherson's like to do, Jerry. He likes to come forward, link up. He has a good shot. He has scored a few goals from outside the box like that. And actually speaking to him in the middle of the week, said he was going to try and get forward as many times as he could, so I've given him the mention now. But he'll have to hit the target.
So it is MacPherson who takes the throw. And it's a play by McNally. Well, Tommy Burns there, I wonder what's going through his mind this afternoon. I suppose it'll be a quiz question in years to come. Name the 2 Kilmarnock players in the Celtic dugout on November the 19th, 1994. There's Tommy Burns and Billy Stark, still registered Kilmarnock players. So a strange set of circumstances. It's McNally's header. Donald loses out, but in comes Grant to force a play forward for Celtic. A touch by Walker to McStay. Kilmarnock getting plenty of players behind the ball. O'Neill will have to be very careful. He's really under a lot of pressure now, following his caution. This is McNally. Faulkner gets a little touch on to Collins. He's got Walker wide. Still it's Collins trying to get forward, and he gets the free kick conceded by Tom Black. Andy Walker had got himself into a nice position just to the right of Collins, but he couldn't wriggle clear to play the ball through. And Celtic have to settle for the free kick. Well, I wonder this time, will Collins have a blast? The last one Celtic had, dithered a bit. So a testing moment for Colin Meldrum and his defenders. The referee wants the defensive wall to retreat just another little bit. So can John Collins strike or will it be Grant? It's Collins, and that's a magnificent effort by John Collins. That one couldn't have been far away. So close to his 7th goal of the season. Peter Grant made the run over the ball. Collins with the left foot, and that really was so close. Tremendous strike by the Celtic midfielder. Again, Tom Brown and causing problems for Celtic. A miscue by McNally, and Kilmarnock comes so close to taking the lead. Well, Ali Mitchell claiming that the ball had been deflected, but what a chance that was. I mentioned earlier that it was McNally who had given away the goal in the earlier meeting between the clubs at Hampden. He gave it away there, and that should have been a corner kick. The ball coming off Gordon Marshall. So McNally breathes a sigh of relief. Ali Mitchell most displeased by that decision. Through now for John Collins, and that's a free kick. Gus MacPherson, the culprit, and he gets a word of warning from the referee.
It would have been very hard if the referee had booked there. Gus just really matching John's run. John was only a half step in front of him. There was no real malice in the foul.
It's Tosh McKinlay playing it through, looking for Faulkner. Again he gets a little knock down. The chance on for Boyd. Well, slack defensive play by Kilmarnock. Certainly Willie Faulkner got a nice little touchdown, but a bit of dithering defensively by Kilmarnock. A good miscue there by Tom Black, and almost allowing Tom Boyd to pounce and strike for Celtic.
Well, I said once in a game before that you can just see here, Willie Faulkner does superbly. Tom Black can't clear it, and it's actually on his good foot. Tom Boyd gave him a bit of stick saying I said his left foot was good, and he knows he should have done better there.
Here comes Celtic again. It's Faulkner trying to pick out McStay. Kilmarnock get it away effectively. McKinlay caught there, but it's a throw into Kilmarnock, which is quickly taken. But the The flag has gone up on the far side, and the linesman attracting the attention of the referee. So the referee calling over Ali Mitchell. So this is the challenge. It was a late one. And then as the two players get up again, he had a little go there because the referee had in fact awarded a throw-in. There had been no free kick given for the challenge. It was for that little nip he had at McKinley. So we've now played just over a minute of stoppage time. Boyd takes the throw-in. Boyd again. Through towards Brown, but McNally climbs above him, and there in fact goes the half-time whistle. Well, both teams giving their all in that first half, and Celtic's best chance coming perhaps after 33 minutes, a free kick by John Collins. Colin Meldrum looked just a little bit late in going for it, but the ball inches past the post, and at the other end a miscue by McNally let Mitchell in, but the ball deflected off Gordon Marshall. The half-time score here at Rugby Park: it's Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 0. So it's Kilmarnock who get the second half underway. I'm glad to see the lights have come on. And quick look round shows no change in either lineup. Well, Alan, what would be the message from the managers in there at half-time?
Well, I think Alec Totten would be happy with his first half. He'd be very happy with the debut boy, Derek Anderson, who's handled Walker and Faulkner very well. But I think it'll be emphasising to Mitchell and McKee to get down around the outsides and cause them even more problems and be more positive, because when they have done that, they have caused Celtic a lot of problems. On the other hand, Tommy Burns is going to look for his midfield to be more creative and get more chances for the front two, which they didn't do in the first half, and I'm sure he'll be wanting to do that in the second.
This is Gus MacPherson, season campaigner. Still a great atmosphere inside this refurbished ground, and just another standing up at the end. But Brown is attacking. That must be a penalty. It is. The referee points to the spot. O'Neill made the challenge on Brown, and the referee pointed to the spot. Absolutely no doubt about that one, just inside the area. And what a chance now for Kilmarnock. O'Neill going in there and taking the player out of the game. Brown has been causing him problems throughout. So it will be Tom Black to take this one. He has one goal already this season. Walker giving some advice to Gordon Marshall just a moment ago. So it's Black against Marshall. He starts his run. A fine save by the goalkeeper. It's off the post. Well, how unlucky can Kilmarnock be? Mark Skilling coming in there. It looks certain they would score. The goalkeeper reacting well. Skilling coming in. The ball smacking off the inside of the post, right across the face of goal. Well, Kilmarnock players and fans can't believe it.
What a hero Gordon Marshall is for Celtic. Absolutely brilliant, but I'm sure that Mark Skilling cannot believe he never scored there. He had the open goal at his mercy and hit the post, and still the ball didn't go in. Unbelievable. And Celtic breathe again.
This is Walker. Black's there for Kilmarnock. And plays very confidently indeed in a very tight situation. That draws applause from the home fans. This is Walker. It's played in by McStay. Faulkner's there. A good touch by Faulkner. The ball still in play. Kept in play there by Andy Walker. Tosh McKinley running the ball out of play. Again, it was Ali Mitchell who was with him. But it was Paul McStay firing in the long ball. Faulkner got a good touch on it. There was no one there to finish off it. Andy Walker swept it back across the face of goal. Again, it's aimed towards Faulkner, but that was Whitworth who got the initial touch. This is McStay for Celtic. It's away by Gus MacPherson. Turned by O'Donnell. This is Faulkner. Tosh McKinley runs in support. Again, Mitchell's with him. Tosh McKinley does well this time. That's a good cross. And Mark Reilly, I think it was, managed to get it away. Still Celtic have it though. Another testing ball. And Celtic have the corner. It's a good little spell now by Celtic, and Neil Whitworth reacting well.
Just shows you, Jerry, you can have a lot of possession. Kilmarnock have had certainly a lot of possession in the second half. They should have taken the lead. It's still nothing each, and all of a sudden Celtic are coming into the game, and they're looking now the team more likely to score.
So at last, Tosh McKinley get away from his marker and get in a good cross. And that one just drifting behind from Faulkner. Well, he's starting to make more and more of a mark in this game. And the Kilmarnock defence will have to be very careful indeed. He's starting to prove a problem for Neil Whitworth and Derek Anderson. It's Paul McStay getting a touch for Celtic. There he is again. Celtic starting to motor a bit now. This is Tom Boyd driving it through, and O'Donnell sending the ball high over the target. Well, Phil O'Donnell's managed 3 goals in his short spell with Celtic, but wild with that one high into the stand.
It's a hard one to take when the ball's coming as quick to you as the ball was delivered from Tom Boyd. I said that Tommy Burns wanted a little bit more individuality, a little bit more skill from his midfield, and it was superb skill that set up Tom Boyd from Paul McStay there, and that's exactly what Tommy Burns will want in this last 20 minutes or so.
It's McNally's header, returned by Whitworth, dropping in behind the defence, and Tosh McKinley putting the goalkeeper under pressure. That ball's out of play. It's a corner kick. Gordon Marshall not happy with the decision, but the ball dropping in behind the defence, and that forced Tosh McKinley into the error. So a chance now for Kilmarnock after that nice little spell by Celtic. So forward goes Derek Anderson. Well, a debut goal from him would be quite a thing. So Marshall leaves his line. He's in trouble here. And again Kilmarnock coming so close. John Henry sweeping the ball right across the face of goal. Marshall come way off his line, appeared to be blocked, and the ball right across the face of goal from John Henry, the former Clydebank player.
It's a good deep cross. Big Gordon actually comes to get it. He can't get through the ruck of players. There's nobody picking up John Henry at the back post. Unfortunately, he just can't direct his shot on target. The ball goes painfully wide.
Again, Brown does well in the air. This is O'Neill, just in ahead of Henry. It's given away though. This is Henry to Brown. It's picked up by Tosh McKinley. Faulkner plays it through for Donnelly. It's a good touch there by Faulkner. And Donnelly trying the shot, which had Colin Meldrum scrambling across his goal. Whitworth. McKinley loses out, force of numbers against him. Whitworth is well forward, retains possession. This is Reilly, playing it now to Black. This is Mitchell. Tosh McKinley slides in now. It's Peter Grant threading it through to Donnelly. Collins is in a bit of space on the far side, but he plays it through to Faulkner. And the first time effort wide of target. Well, John Collins was in a lot of space out on the right-hand side, but it was played through there to the big Celtic striker, and well wide of target. So Boyd's header, a little touch on by McStay. McStay, the long pass there to Collins. Through now for Faulkner. Faulkner turning well and getting in a decent shot as well.
Does well, the big man here. Actually, Colin Meldrum does very well. He hasn't been called upon to make any great saves, and when he did, he made a good save there, although Willie only turning in a half chance, unlucky.
This is Black. That's Maskrey. Fresh legs of Maskrey and getting forward and having a shot at goal. This is Brown. Nelly makes the challenge, and that's Kilmarnock's throw. So just about 2 minutes left, plus any stoppage time to be added on.
Yeah, it's been a good game. I think of all the fervour before match things about the political side of it, I think was almost disappeared in the first 10 minutes of the game. But both sets of players have given everything today. But just that last telling pass to create something a bit special for their teammates just hasn't been there today.
And here comes O'Donnell for Celtic. It breaks away out to Collins. It was Whitworth who played everyone onside, and he just missed out on that one, and that let Faulkner get in the header. So the ball played away out right to John Collins, and he floated in the cross. It got just beyond Whitworth, and there was Faulkner with the header. Taking their time about it, Kilmarnock. This is Maskrey, a nice little turn by him. Mitchell's in there with Marshall, and again Marshall doing well, getting in the long clearance. This is O'Donnell, and there goes the final whistle. So a hard-fought match, warm handshakes between the managers, but Kilmarnock with still just 2 wins in the championship this season. Celtic have now gone 8 games in the championship without a win, but what a chance for Kilmarnock in the second half. Kilmarnock awarded a penalty kick, Black took it, Marshall saved, and then Skilling smacked the ball against the inside of the post. The final score here at Rugby Park, Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 0.
So there we are, 0-0, but Kilmarnock did have chances, didn't they, and opportunities to win it, Jerry?
Yeah, they'll be disappointed they didn't win, but what a struggle both are having in the championship. I said they're Celtic 8 games without a win, not the way to prepare for a National Cup final. But I thought the glimmer of hope for Celtic yesterday was Paul McStay. He's going to be a very important player at Ibrox next week. He's never lifted a trophy as skipper of Celtic. That must weigh on his mind, especially with the family background he has, the Celtic family background he has. Grant suspended, O'Donnell is cup tied. But I thought he showed a lot of aggression yesterday, Paul, as well as a lot of skill. He's had injuries lately, and that's hampered him. I don't think there's any doubt about that. We saw it in the Old Firm match, for instance, and he missed the recent international match. But there was a glimmer from him yesterday that he's coming back to form.
Yeah, dare I say, it was only green light for Celtic really yesterday. I mean, he's as involved as I've ever seen Paul McStay, in a more of a battling sense. You know, he's got a partner in Peter Grant, who's normally the one we would associate with that. But you know, Paul really, led by example yesterday. Although Celtic really are struggling badly, and they really have to do something about it before this cup final on Sunday.
I think the penalty save apart, Gordon Marshall really commanding his area. He's made a lot of important saves for Celtic this season, and he will be another crucial player for them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was superb yesterday, and I said in commentary, when a goalkeeper comes to collect balls and high balls come into the area, and your goalie does this, and he's going to do it, it takes so much of the pressure off your defence. Big Gordon on numerous occasions has been superb this year. For Celtic, and although Mark McNally does his best to put his goalkeeper under pressure, but again he's done superb. He's put the striker under a lot of pressure, then he's missed it, and the save for the penalty is great. Not only this, he's up, he's got his big body up, he's made it difficult for Matt Skilling to hit an empty net, and hopefully just because of that he's missed. And again here, superb, comes out, claims the ball, brilliant play, absolutely superb, and that side takes the pressure right off, and he has been a real big plus this year for Celtic, and he did it on numerous occasions yesterday, and yeah, superb.
I think Pat Bonner's helping him along at Celtic, of course, as well, Alan. What about individual Kilmarnock performances, Jerry?
Well, Tom Brown, you've got to look at him. He was a thorn in Celtic's side, and he's made a tremendous impact. I mean, we saw him play for Glenafton in the Junior Cup final a couple of years ago, and he's really good in the air, early doors yesterday. His passing abilities in evidence here, that went through to Henry, and really gave the Celtic defence a hard time, and of course, by battling away, he got his just reward.
Yeah, I know Tom really well. I actually worked with him quite closely when I was here, and he does good things like this by taking on defenders which defenders don't like, and this is what possibly Celtic didn't have enough of by committing people. But yeah, he's done really well coming from the junior game.
Big Whitworth of Kilmarnock, Alan, settling in well, and what is a new defensive partnership, isn't it? Yeah,
it's a good buy by Alec Totten, bringing both Colin McKee and him at the same time. Over the years, I think Kilmarnock had big, strong centre halves. Now, he was in a new partnership with Derek Anderson, who did exceptionally well yesterday, and he carried it on his shoulders, the responsibility, Neil Whitworth, yesterday, and gave really Willie Faulkner a very difficult time, because obviously Celtic are looking to a great header there, a great defensive header, aware of everything that was happening round about him, and it was a real plus. Well, great defending there as well, because they were under a little bit of pressure, does the simple thing, and well, he was a real plus for Kilmarnock yesterday.
The penalty incident, now there were claims, Jerry, it was outside the area. What do you think?
Well, I had no doubts. I thought it was inside, and I think even if there is any slight doubt at all, you give the advantage to the attacker. It's interesting here, look at O'Neill, he goes to challenge him, pulls out, he's already been booked, and then he has to make the challenge there. And for my money, that's inside the penalty area. I called it straight away, and in my book, that's a penalty kick.
Yeah, I would have said exactly the same thing. Tom Brown does superb here. Takes with the outside, like I said, he takes people on, commits defenders, and Brian already booked before. And just there, you could possibly have thought it was outside the box, but the ascendancy is definitely with the attacker. He's going into the box into a goal-scoring situation. For me, yeah, it was definitely a penalty. Tom does really well here by turning away. Mark McNally doesn't know exactly what to do. Brian comes in, that's a penalty for me as well.
Okay, a penalty it was, so you were right. What about it, Jerry? The Coca-Cola Cup final is looming. What chance do you give Celtic right now?
Well, their confidence obviously can't be too high after that run of results. I think if they can get Mowbray back in defence, that will help. I would play him alongside O'Neill. I think McNally's going through a really bad patch. I think it's a day for Charlie Nicholas, his passing ability. You know, with Grant and O'Donnell out, they've got to think along those lines. But Raith Rovers, I think, have a real chance. And because they've got an exceptional manager, I've said it many times, in Jimmy Nicholl.